Okay, so maybe first we could just get started by introducing ourselves and why we feel there is a need for kindness and play in our schools and how we can more effectively reach our children so that they won't have this, so that their nervous systems can be more regulated in our classrooms. I really, truly, passionately feel that the structure of the way we are the system in general, it's just not working. I taught for 10 years overseas. Well, I taught for 6 years in kindergarten and second grade in Florida. And then I went overseas for 10 years and I taught at an international school. It was a private nonprofit school. And I was really exposed to really student centered style instruction where the students really had much more voice, choice, and authentic learning capabilities and not capabilities, but they were allowed to be inquisitive and curious and really have more time to learn through their natural learning style, which is play, I've discovered. Um, and then after COVID, so I taught in China for 10 years, and they sent me all around the world to different trainings and workshops, Tokyo, Singapore. I went to Readers and Writers College. They sent me for 2 years at Columbia University, and so I was really exposed to a lot of different instructional methodology. And then COVID happened and I came back from China. We tried to get back to China for a year and a half, but that didn't work. So I ended up coming back to Florida, teaching 2 years, and the situation just seemed to only get worse from when I had left 10 years ago. So I passionately believe that if teachers found a voice and if we could collectively bring our voices together to advocate for more play in our classrooms, that we could really make a difference. So that's why we're here. And through my advocating for play, Jeff has reached out to me. So Jeff, would you like to share your story?
Sure, sure. Um, there have been many books written about play, and there's an article in some magazine or publication every week. Um, we haven't figured out, in my view, I've spent my life, my professional life, looking for ways to bring play into learning spaces. And uh, I created a platform for doing just that. And it's it focuses on the use of paper and a little bit of puppetry. I call it a play language, and it effectively brings play into the hands, into people's heads and hearts through communication. It's an unusual platform, but it has enormous potential. Um, the the point at which we want people to see this is where um, people start using it. It's almost like a telephone or something that you really don't know the implications of using it until you're suddenly using it, and a lot of lights go on. And so Melissa and I right now believe that we've got the message and we have the methodology to bring to educators uh, first through some conversations so that we can find out who we are and what we're looking for, and then maybe gather together, possibly into a larger group, to begin moving the medium and the message into people's hands. So we've been meeting with people like you and on one-to-one and maybe 1 to 2 or 3. And it's really important for us to try to figure out where people are, what they're looking for, and to talk a little bit about where we are and who we are before we try to impress you with all kinds of imaging and video. We'd both be very eager to know how you discovered us and why you're here.
It honestly, it just popped up on my Facebook page this morning. The Facebook group popped up this morning. I think it was a suggested group. So I am going into my 27th year of teaching kindergarten. Originally I was trained, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Project Construct. It's a Missouri framework. I'm from Missouri. I mean, I'm teaching Missouri my whole time. And it's play-based, and it's like learning through play. It's kind of Montessori. If I was going to put it towards anything, it would be similar to that, but there's very structured testing. Anyways, when No Child Left Behind came along, that all went out the window. And we had to suddenly, what they had to do before, and I moved districts at the same time. So what was okay before No Child Left Behind, where they had time to play and kind of, get to be used to kindergarten, literally the next year, it had to be like, the kid suddenly became a baseball card, where I knew exactly what reading level, how many letters, how many numbers, and stuff. And then I kind of stayed that way for a little bit. And then I think I just got far enough in where I was just like, you know what, this isn't me. I don't really like this anymore. And so I just kind of went back to, I have a playtime in the afternoon, but I'm the only kindergarten teacher that does. And we do have a structured character ed that we have to teach. And I do teach that, but my principal, it's her first year. She just finished this year. She's very supportive of it also. I said, is it okay if I have a playtime in the afternoon? Because I know I'm going to get them where they need to be academically. But for 5-year-olds, hearing the character ed words through on a computer is not the same as them. Like whenever I actually see them play is whenever we're working on stuff. And she was like, absolutely. So I'm the only one that does it. But I walk around all the time and I sit down with them and I play with them and, or watch them play and talk about how to work through problems and stuff like that. The other teachers don't do it, but they also don't feel comfortable with the noise, or they are not to the point of where they can get the kids to clean up. And I've tried to tell them you have to bring it up systematically and have them open up one area at a time and have a certain thing that my kids know they have a song, and then they have to, as soon as they hear that song, they must clean up, and they must meet me on the carpet by the time the song is over and stuff. But that's why I was here. I was trying to might hear me typing. I'm typing notes over here because I want to share it with everybody. I was hoping more people would come.
Oh, that's okay. Wow. So oh, sorry.
Oh, we can,
yeah,
we can give you the video.
Definitely.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
Definitely.
So don't stress.
Yeah. I'm like, I have 2 screens here. So I'm type it on this screen and watching you guys on this screen.
So you must have really seen the system evolve in 27 years. I have been 19 years, but 10 of those were overseas in China.
Right.
So that's really interesting. I mean, a lot has changed.
It's interesting that you said COVID, because a lot of people keep thinking it's COVID. I don't think it's COVID.
Mm,
I think it's the new way of parenting with technology.
yes.
I think this is here to stay because COVID would not be affecting the 5-year-olds, this past group of 5-year-olds that just came through.
Mhm.
And they're, and I taught summer school in a different district, and my district is very low income. We have 100% free lunch and breakfast and snacks. But I taught in a wealthier district for summer school, and they, same thing. I was dealing with, they could read and they could do all this stuff academically, but their social skills were pretty much the same.
So you think it's technology?
I think it's parents. I think this is parents.
Mhm.
I hate to say it, like whenever we go out to dinner, we will see so many parents and their little ones on their phones, or the little ones will be on their tablets instead of for like playing games and communicating. I don't think they know how to wait. I don't think they know how to communicate. Like whenever I have problems with, you know, and I've tried all the, you know, different things, and I'll just ask the parents, like, how do they do when you go to the grocery store? Like, if you tell them no, are they able to do that? Because what I hear from parents all the time with those particular students is, well, they don't act that way at home. And I'm like, well, when you take them to the grocery store, what do they do? And they say, well, they're fine. And I'm like, so when you tell them no, they can't have something, what do they do? And they're like, well, like, they're on their, you know what I mean? They're on their tablet. And when they wait, they're on their tablet. And I'm like, well, we're not, I mean, like I try to hold off technology as long as possible in kindergarten. I have to use it and I hate it, but I have to. But
Why do you have to?
it's our district pays for it. We are 1-to-1 Chromebooks in kindergarten. And so every kindergartner has their own computer in our district. So, which I also do not like, but.
Wow. I noticed from my experience that the level of engagement and motivation to learn has really, really decreased. As far as it just feels like they're so apathetic towards anything but the screen. It's almost
Their
like
perseverance has gone down.
Yeah.
The perseverance has majorly gone down. And being able to be told no, I think, is gone down a lot. But they they don't like the stuff that we do on the computers because it's just not YouTube videos.
Yeah.
It's actual learning, you know, so they don't really like our computers either.
Yeah. I had the same thing. They're like, oh, I don't care about Lexia points.
They're telling us something. They're telling us something, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I'm wondering whether I could branch off into another section of the conversation based on things that I heard you say.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me that I guess a lot of kindergarten teachers will do this. They'll have a song that signifies a shift. There's something different coming. And I also had occasion in a workshop to meet, I think it was kindergarten or first grade, a teacher who used sign language instead of regular language to move from activity to activity. And one of the things that we're focused on in getting together here is play through communication.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to what you're saying about technology and the screens and what the children are also communicating back to us,
Mm-hmm.
It would really be interesting to explore how the play language platform that we're using, which involves a little bit of origami to start, could actually displace the need for the screen. Because the kids are responding to their environment. We give them the screen, and all of a sudden it's not satisfying. So the premise that we're trying to move forward on is not just play, but play and communication involving the hands and involving improvisation. Improvisation and communication is really powerful with children because they're so used to everything being passively consumed. Everything is programmed. And so they can't articulate it, but we know that it probably is stressful in some way because they can't be who they want to be. And so, if you take away anything from this evening, we can go on to other things and talk about some other things, but we've really drilled down into one of the major things that's affecting children in the learning culture, and the powers that be want to use the computers because they've spent the money on the computers, and that needs to be justified. So I'm proposing, it's early in the process here, you're just getting to know us, but we could actually do a little bit of science and see what happens when true play is the wavelength in the classroom, and that play has a hook. It's got their hands, and it's got their playful minds, and it's got their curiosity. In other words, I've discovered, and it's been written up, that play and communication involves a wavelength. Play is a kind of energy. If you can tap into that energy and keep it free of technology, you have a way of engaging with children to meet them where they live. So there's a method to our methodology here, madness. And it sounds like it could be really interesting for you to play with this and work with us and see where it goes. The timing is perfect. You could take the coursework and you can go through it 1, 2, 3 times and scan it so that you're comfortable with it. It doesn't involve typical computer instruction. There's video of the teachers who helped me craft the courseware. So you'd be learning from educators help me assemble this platform. We're working with folks kind of on a one-to-one basis, but I think in the next couple of months, we may have a number of people, and by then you might have something to share. No guarantees.
Right.
But it sounds like your antennas are up and you're troubled and focused in on this challenge. And I'm convinced that because this platform that we have is completely analog, it doesn't really bring us in close to the screen. I'm convinced that the experience that teachers have had in the past is enough to displace the habit that we have in reaching for the screens. And if the screens do enter into it, it may be possible for people to capture, to be focused in more on the exciting behavior, the communication behavior going on, be able to, become more aware of how important play is
Mm-hmm.
for the adults as well as for the kids who are not getting the play that they need in our learning spaces. So
And I love it. They're not even getting the play they need at home either. Honestly, whenever I ask them on Mondays what they're doing, or we have a sharing time each morning, they are not even playing at home, which is so sad. Like half the time, the only time they play is in my classroom, and that's 5-year-olds.
play
It's
is
sad.
endangered.
Yes.
Play is endangered
Yeah.
because there's so much distraction and glass and plastic around,
Mm-hmm.
and we're kind of clueless about what's going on
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much hype.
Yeah.
Kindergartners with tablets, and
I know.
do they have their smartphones yet?
No, our school makes everybody put them away, but a lot of them do have phones, like, their parents' old phones or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are not our new principal. Like I said, she just finished her first year, and she's young. She's 32 or 33, but she's my absolute favorite principal ever. She will not let the kids take their computers home anymore because they were using them at home, and she wants them playing at home and doing stuff outside and stuff like that. So she's on board with it. She's just trying to do the powers that be also.
Well, it's really wonderful that you invited her, and it's great that we can bring her
Mm-hmm.
into this conversation.
Yes.
Really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel that play is contagious. Once they have this, really, it's a little disheartening to think that we really need a framework to teach children to play, but it's really teaching teachers. It's
Yes.
teachers
Yes.
framework, because even in up until recently, I've always, I believe in my heart that play-centered learning and student-centered learning is more natural and can regulate the nervous system better. But until I met Jeff and went through the course, I didn't understand how I could communicate with play language. What is that? So Jeff's course gives it's so easy, and the sky's the limit, and the imagination is the limit. And what I really see here is truly healing for teachers, because I feel that the reason why we went into this career, at least in some level, is we want to make a difference. We want to have that connection with our students. We want them to feel safe. We want them to have a sense of belonging. But it feels like the external forces are telling us this is not how we should do it. But then how do we get that connection? But through play language, it is inherent. It's natural, and it's already there. And there's no substituting anything in the curriculum. There's no taking time out. It's actually bringing the curriculum to an entire different dimension, because the students can interview a tree. If you're doing, the life cycle of a tree or the 4 seasons, well, what would an interview with a cherry blossom tree look like compared to an interview with a tree who's lost all its leaves? Well, you just open the door to so many ideas and really enrich language. And research proves that language is really the catalyst to learning, but are not using language when they're sitting on the screens. But if they're interviewing a tree, well, how do you feel when it's cold outside? Or what are those snow? Isn't that snow heavy on your branches? Or wow, like you can really, truly, literally talk to a tree. Imagine how that could really unlock so much imagination and language and understanding of cognition for our kids. So
yeah, I love that. I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
Just the communication part, I noticed like their language skills have gone down in the last several years.
Yes.
I mean, I'm referring a lot more kids for speech, even just because they're not seeing speech, versus a computer screen and stuff.
Mhm.
So, yeah, the communication piece I think is huge in the whole thing.
I mean, and that will affect them all up until, the rest of their lives. If
Mm-hmm.
they really don't have strong vocabulary and communication, it's it's going to make a difference in our world if we can't really elevate the level of communication with our kids.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
So
Well,
yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
oh, well, let's put this on the table and say that this is something that we can do. Are you having any other thoughts as we explore this that we might be able to talk about?
No, I do. No, it sounds exciting. Yeah.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great. Um, Melissa, I was going to try to do something that we haven't done before, which is to share the screen, and I loaded some images into iMovie that I could basically manually walk through. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull that off, and it's not critical.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Helene?
Helena.
Helena.
Mm-hmm.
It's not critical, but it might be fun for you to see some of the teacher work and
Yes.
what this looks like. If I can't pull it off, you'll be going into the course and you'll be able to see it right then and there. Let me see.
If you go to the green share at the bottom, the arrow,
Okay.
and then hopefully I've allowed permission.
iMovie unknown.
Well, first go into share because right now I have the screen.
Oh, go into share.
Where there's the arrow, like share screen.
Yeah, it's asking me to open system settings.
Oh,
I think that's what happened last time. We're gonna have to rehearse this and get it down. So we'll put this we'll put this on hold for a while. Okay. All right.
my son he wrote me a note. I'm going to interview a tree. So he took his notebook and went outside.
Yeah, and so many teachers or parents wonder just how far you can take these paper ideas. And so Gabe is 11.
Yes.
So far, Gabe and I have engaged in conversation with a puppet representing a patch of grass. So we seem to be focused on the botanical world right now.
I can share the screen if you want to show something. I have access to everything. Or we can
talk to me some more about that.
I mean, we could actually look at the course and show her how to get logged in, and
oh, okay.
Maybe we could show the stomach video or
okay. You want me to share?
I mean, I don't think you have capability to share, but
but you do. Okay, so take it away. How much time do you have? Helena?
A few more minutes.
Oh, I'm fine. I have nothing. I have a 16 and an 18-year-old. So
I have an 11 and 14-year-old. So I'm actually remembering myself a little bit. It's kind of weird.
Well, take us on a tour then, see what happens.
Okay. Should I look into videos or just go straight to the course?
I guess you could go straight to the course so it looks familiar to her.
Okay. Let's do that. Let me screen share. You can see all my ADHD icons. Okay, let's go to the course. So it's play. Let's just go.
Puppet Tools Basics.
Yes, but we've just made a website for this as we're meeting more people and they're trying out the course. So this is the web. Oh, can you guys see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here we made some advertising for it. We're just getting started. But you can look through this later. So here, if you go to enroll, we have a guest pass for you because what we're really trying to do is, Jeff, do you want to explain what we're trying to do here while I get logged in, because I'm already logged in somewhere else?
We're trying to introduce people to the course, which is what we say is the portal into play-based communication. So it's well,
I'm just going to try to log in one more time.
okay.
And we have a coupon code that we're just getting. So we're encouraging people just to try this, and we're starting like we said, Thursday nights. We'd like to make a group of citizen scientists. So if you'll see the videos when we get in there, they're vintage. Oh.
Yeah, one of the things that we're hoping to do is to possibly generate some new content, new footage.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in New York with educators on Long Island, and I was able, this was in the later 90s, I was able to capture some wonderful video. And they weren't too excited about the video at first because, it's asking a lot. A lot of teachers don't understand what play can do. And, it's not always easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the video that was able to capture is kind of old at this point, but it's still very, very current.
Mm-hmm.
Just letting you know.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Which video do you think we should look at, or?
I guess we can go into the communication. Where
I think I'm in it. Where are we? We have the introduction.
Growing Carry construction process. Go down further. Come on. We can go to, how about the storybook? Teachers. Storybook reading.
Okay.
Storybook reading techniques.
For a teacher to be able to make a storybook character emerge from behind the book and enter the life of the classroom in a puppet persona is pure magic. Storybook or reading experience, a la Puppet Tools, dramatically boosts children's attention and their immersion in the experience. They'll ask more questions, model good listening skills, and point out details in the story and illustrations. Quite simply, The puppet is used to model behavior that you, the adult, would wish for in a group of story listeners. Knowing how to turn storybook characters into puppets that look like the illustrations that come right off the page, provides a blueprint for using puppets with resources of all kinds, including biography, history, social studies, or current events, math, science, or literature. Puppet does not read the book necessarily. It can accentuate or exaggerate a word or phrase to elicit a call and response. Puppet answers questions, points out details in the illustrations, anything to build interest and stimulate curiosity. An interesting model for using a puppet so that it is manageable and enjoyable and doesn't interrupt the flow of the story is to choose a moment to stop and slip into the character's voice to make a natural comment. You can improvise as you go, slipping into the voice of the character and out of the reading. The puppet can be picked up to make a point and then gently set down. You get the
There's our
depth.
tree.
You get the story.
Sorry.
There's our tree.
Yeah. Should I keep going?
Yeah.
And you get the kids and yourself involved in the story. As you get more experience, you'll become more relaxed and skilled at using the puppet to enrich and maintain interest.
If you fire, you can bring fire, and that will cut up the snow. So he gives Rainbow Crow fire. Rainbow Crow has to come all the way home holding this fire. It starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And it starts to burn Rainbow Crow. And his voice, beautiful singing voice, is choking, and all I can say is, oh, oh. I can do real well right now. And Rainbow Crow, despite that, despite everything, he holds on to the fire and he doesn't let it go. Do you think you would keep holding on if it was like that? Do you think you should let it go?
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Been shot at lately?
Well, sometimes that happens.
Uh-huh. Well, Mr. McGregor, you gotta watch him, don't you?
Yeah, I still like to go over there. I like the excitement. It's fun.
Oh, yeah? Well, you gotta get under that fence, though, pretty quickly, though, don't you?
I know. Did you hear about what happened with my jacket?
No, what happened?
Well, last time I was there, my jacket got caught on the fence.
Uh-oh.
And then I had no jacket. And when I was running away from Mr. McGregor, I wound up in a pot filled with water. And then I could have.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Oh.
Better now.
Uh-huh. Well, I hope you're feeling better, and be careful in that garden. You never know what's going to turn up. Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome.
You're a peach. All right.
For a
So
teacher to be able to
That's just a little snip, and I think doing storybook reading is a really good starting point. You know, we've heard of using puppets in the classroom before, but with the paper hinge, it's nothing we need to worry about going out and buying. It's just all of the tools are there, and they can really, it's just an idea in your hand. It's shifting the dimension of education, of teaching, is teaching through the eyes of a third party, which shifts everything. I feel I've noticed. So as you see, the courses, they're pretty short. Each one is really pretty short. And, you know, like this one would be, you know, just a 1-page read and then watch a quick video and then get ideas. And so, I mean, I've gone through the whole thing and just skipping around in a half hour, but then I've gone deeper and went through everything. It took about 2 hours.
And there's a whole section there with teacher journals.
Teacher journal. Yeah, they give a lot of really good ideas. Where is that one? Oh, let's see. Where is the teachers? Oh, teachers talk about play.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the teacher journals right here. And you've used play language in all different grade levels, right?
Yes, we've gone up into the college foreign language classroom.
So that's like the best read because it gives so many ideas on how ways you can use play language. So we'd be delighted for you to look into the course and talk to your team, your principal. We're really
Yeah.
wanting this to go viral. We just need,
Right.
we really feel like we just need teachers to get in and be brave, just you're doing this already by meeting us on the Zoom.
Well, and I like the part I really like about it where I feel like I could really kind of sell it to the other teachers is I think they're kind of afraid of like the whole play part, but if I would sell it as like the vocabulary part and the communication part, then it kind of like gives them a step-by-step way to go into that.
We have a pamphlet, like a document that we organize. It's really basically everything that's on the website that I can email to you. It's like a PDF, a three-page PDF, but it explains what is play language. And,
yes.
Because I know, like when you hear play, you hear, oh, that's just messing around. Yeah,
right.
sure, they learn, but how do we actually learn through play? Play is learning, but that's where the bridge of the hinge comes in. Is you're not only learning, but you're going so much deeper into the content. And you can see like the Mr. McGregor, that's all, that would be a beautiful summarizing, way to summarize the story. And, you really understand this child's comprehension if they could speak about the story through the eyes of the rabbit. So there's just so much. So if I could get your email, we can send.
Yes. And some of the kids might actually speak more through the eyes of through using some of the puppets.
Well, exactly. Yes, you will, as the adult in the room, you will elicit more communication. And another selling point for educators is that, this is a little bit like getting rid of the training wheels and jumping off the diving board into a deeper section. There are trepidations going out onto the diving board, but once you learn this as a language, there's no place where you can't go. And the real selling point for teachers, I think, and what you will read in the journals is that this lightens the load, the workload. But the adult in the learning space doesn't have to carry everything and shouldn't carry everything. Because if you're able to spark conversation and inspiration and excitement to the point where, they're not 11 years old yet, but they're definitely going to want to talk to the tree and make the tree talk. So if you, as the communicator, know how to field this energy and to move this energy on the pathway of communication, we were talking about this the other night. So many things in the classroom are, that's over. Now we're going to move here and we're going to move here. If you have them through communication, just like with the sign language, you've got them where they live. And that's the theoretical part of this, but it's borne out in the in the teacher journals and in some of the videos that you'll see. It's a different place to be with children, and that's why we think this is groundbreaking.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
exciting. Mhm.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we're excited by your presence because we need people like you who have your antennas up and you're looking for solutions that can make it. So consider this a potential collaboration because, you know, we really want to get onto this wavelength with people. And so if you can help us,
Yeah.
I know we can help you. You can help
No,
us.
this is something I feel very passionate about. And like, I wanted to go to my principal, and I kind of wanted to even do away with the computers for as long as possible this year.
Well, maybe we can prove how valuable something like this is
Yeah.
and even see the impact on how the kids are behaving at home.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is something that can involve parents so that you've got a bridge between what's going on in the classroom and it can be encouraged and reinforced at home.
Mm-hmm.
And the only other thing that I'll share with you, play language has come out of puppetry. I got involved with it because when I saw kids responding to the puppets, I was not just a puppeteer, I was an educator. And I said, why aren't puppets being used for school-age children, young and older? And it's a difficult question because many teachers resist play. They don't want to be asked to play. They want to teach. They don't want to perform. All of these things, they look at the paper and they look at it and they say, they're going to laugh me out of the classroom. And, you know, there's a whole section in the course where a third grade teacher who's a man really thought the kids were going to laugh him out of the room. And his words are really profound. So I guess what I'm saying is that this could go into the home. It could be quite an experiment. And if your principal sees this and she's excited, well, we'd be excited too. We can find ways to make this work and we can share it within the school.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, I'm also on our, we have it's called the Lighthouse team, like our character education, like where we bring character education to our whole school. So there's like a few of us that are on that. So like, you know, just because a lot of our kids don't come with the character education taught at home. So we're also doing a lot of that also. So
That sounds terrific.
These are great to use with character education. Read the teacher journals.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited to like bring this back to everybody too.
Great, thank you. I think I might need a puppet. Do we have a puppet around? You lost it. He was working hard on it while we were talking. Let me see who's visiting today.
Yes, you might remember him.
Who?
You might remember him.
Who is it? Oh,
There
Mr.
he is. Hey, Mr. Grass,
Yeah.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Are you all clipped and fresh?
Yes.
Did you get a buzz cut today with the lawnmower?
Yes, it was scheduled.
It was scheduled.
So you were ready for it.
Yes. I scheduled it.
Well, when was the last time you were fertilized?
I don't remember.
Ever been fertilized?
Well, did it rain last night?
I think it did.
So you must be feeling pretty good.
I talk with Mr. Chris a lot.
Mr. Chris.
Oh, Gabe noted him in his interview.
Oh, who's Mr. Chris?
You'll see.
Oh, your interview with the tree. What is it like when it's raining? What is it like when it's raining?
Answer.
Oh, he says it's cold and wet, and he wrote this interview. This was his interview.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Cold and wet, and he doesn't like it. How do you feel about animals living in you? Good. It keeps me company. How do you like other trees? Answer. He likes it. More company. Tell me about you. He likes his branches and being shady. He hates the hot days and the cold
He
days.
likes being the shade.
Oh, and that's what he looks like. What a beautiful tree. Oh, you named him Chris.
That's his name from the beginning.
Ah, thanks, bud.
Dave, that's a beautiful interview.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Probably
Thanks
the most
very much.
writing you've done all summer.
I wrote my journal too, mostly Drew, but
That's true.
Dave, we got to do some more interviews with you and your little friends.
okay.
Okay. All right.
Thanks very much.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Good night.
I love the grass. That's
Well, if I could get your email, we can go ahead and share with you this.
okay.
And,
It's Helena, so it's HELENA,
okay.
another A, Wilson, WILSON,
Okay.
at gmail.com.
Great. Wow. I'm so grateful that you saw the post and it touched you.
Oh.
I really, truly feel that this is what teachers need. I feel that, we grow up so quickly and we lose our inner child. And this is exactly what sparks that energy that we need to stay motivated and to stay happy in our jobs. And it's so hard. So, thank you.
Well, I'm really, what I'm excited about is like in kindergarten in Missouri, we have kids that come from preschool that came in with a young child with developmental delays, whether it's speech or language or anything, they have to reevaluate them. Well, they ask us, we have to answer all these questions and for our observations. Well, through their play, I was able to give like a lot of observations of their
There you
social
go.
skills and stuff. Just so many observations.
Mhm.
And I like had so much information about the kids that I would not have had that otherwise, but trying to get the other teachers to do it, it's just, they don't feel comfortable getting to that point. And so that's where I'm hoping there's like a systematic way to,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like that's where
The bridge from chaos to
yes.
order.
Yeah, yeah.
And to ordered play. And what was
Mhm.
that? When you take a leaf apart, and put it in statistical rows, it's supposed to be, our kids are not statistics. That's
Yes.
why I think we have so many problems, because
Mhm.
it's the system, but this is a way of integrating what we know within the system.
Mhm.
Well, I would like to add to that teachers need that kind of growth latitude as well.
Mhm.
And I'm just going to plant a seed here. We seem to be talking a lot about growing things and talking to them. It could take a year for some of the teachers. Some of the teachers might jump in.
Mhm.
Some will be observing and looking. And, I think if it's acknowledged from the outset that adults who haven't been doing this will find it uncomfortable. You have to go into your comfort zone. But that's what is needed in education at this point, because the whole field is kind of locked down with its testing and with everything else. That's the culture. So this is a culture buster or breaker, and you need to acknowledge that some people may need time to do that. Now, I know from experience, one of my colleagues came out of corporation, and he was in Italy, and he came to a school in Pennsylvania. It was low income area, and he negotiated with the principal. This is some years back, that he wanted to play through the curriculum. He wanted to bring play into that. Well, before long, parents were asking, why I want my son's teacher to be doing what's going on in this gentleman's class, because the kids, it's word of mouth. It's positive. So people are definitely going to feel some pressure and discomfort about this, because it is a little radical. But the fact is, this is where kids live. If we have a way to reach them through this force of nature that lives inside them, then that's going to make us more powerful as educators. So that's important. And so as we introduce this to teachers, they should know that we can go through this at their own pace. And to be able to observe what's going on, so people don't feel like they're being cornered or expected to perform right on the spot.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think sometimes, though, they just got to try it. Just try it. They just got to try. And, and this might give them a systematic way to try it.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I love most about it. Because
when people first picked up the telephone, they had no idea.
Yeah.
They had no idea.
Yeah.
So, and this is one of those things, and it has to do with spontaneity. What am I going to say? What am I going to do? You figure it out, but you just got to do it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And this might give them just a little bit more structure to feel confident.
They're not alone. The course is watching other teachers get into it. So
Right.
it's a great way to grow.
Yes.
I think this, honestly, is more important now than probably it was 20 years ago whenever I first started teaching, honestly. I mean, before No Child Left Behind, everybody was doing this, the thematic teaching and all of this stuff. And I kind of feel like with No Child Left Behind, it kind of like, that's when all the testing really started. And I think over time, it's just kind of gotten worse. So I feel now with all the kids having screens and YouTube and all the other stuff, I feel like it's more important now than before.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I think so.
Well, thank you, Alina.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Great. So am I. I can't
It's
wait.
Great to hear. And you'll have my email address and Melissa's, and reach out if you have any question.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We'll be talking some more. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I think I was definitely meant to see that this morning.
You were.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Take care.
Bye.
Have a good evening.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.